I said I was going to go for a Tartaglia constellation. Come on, please be this. Oh, I haven't got her. I'll take it. I actually haven't got her, so I think I would rather have a Tartaglia constellation, to be fair. But yeah, it'll do. It's all right. Okay, I kind of gutted. I don't know if should I be disappointed. I think I should be disappointed. Technically, I can get another 5-star here, and it's guaranteed to be Childe, isn't it? Did I get 2 in a row? I got 2 in a row. Apologies about that, guys. I just had to show off the only piece of luck I've ever had summoning in this game. Welcome to Lost in the World. This is a video on my thoughts on Childe and where he stands in the current meta. Tartaglia was released yesterday into the wish pool, and without a doubt he is the most interesting hero released in Genshin Impact by a fair bit. He's unique in the way he plays, and today we're going to discuss where he lies in the tier list. I know a lot of people love tier lists. I'm going to break down for you why tier lists are and are not important, and really where Childe sits at the moment for a variety of reasons. Different people are going to look at Childe's position in the game in different ways, and I will break all that down for you right now. Okay, so first and foremost, when discussing a new hero and looking at where he lies in the current meta, you really firstly have to look at how different people break down a team and team roles in Genshin. Obviously, you've got 4 heroes to choose from, and generally speaking at the moment, for a variety of different reasons, which I'll touch on briefly, your team is broken down into 4 main components. You've got your DPS or carry. There's 2 different terms given really depending on which community you're talking to, but DPS and carry is the same thing. It's your main damage dealer. You've then got your off DPS or sub carry, which is basically your fill-in damage dealer for when your main damage dealer is either on cooldown or is damaged and needs to be pulled out in your damage rotation, or you put in your second DPS to do elemental reactions or amping reactions. Then thirdly, you've got your healer, and fourthly, you've generally got a utility support CC type hero, aka Venti. So they're the roles at the moment, and there's a variety of reasons those roles exist. Firstly, the reason you have 1 main DPS is time really and resin restraints. You kit out more than 1 person to DPS in your team. Having 1, 2, 3, 4 DPSs is very difficult at the moment. I think as the game progresses, you'll see a lot more DPS heavy compositions, especially if you get more self-sustained weapons and heroes. Now, why we talk about this in relation to discussing Childe is because he's very unique in where he lies in those kind of roles in your current Genshin team. Childe, let's be very straight about this off the bat, has huge damage numbers in his melee stance. So Childe can switch between ranged and melee. His ranged is practically useless, which follows kind of the lore and story of Childe, which is he only uses a bow because it's the weapon he's worst with. But his melee water stance where he switches is extremely powerful, can dump out serious damage numbers. The caveat there being, of course, the longer you're in that melee stance doing these huge numbers, the longer the cooldown is on the melee stance. Now, that makes Childe very unique in that he's a DPS who can't stay on the field too long, and the longer he stays on the field damaging, the more he isn't damaging, which puts him in a really unique situation in terms of the style of play you're gonna have with Childe. Okay, so a quick example of his E, which is his melee stance switch. Here we have Tartaglia. He pops his E, he goes into melee. Now, I just want you to watch this. We're gonna melee, we're gonna melee, we're gonna melee, and we're gonna come back into range. He's got a 10-second cooldown there. Okay. Now let's wait for this melee to go back on. 10 seconds doesn't seem that long, correct? But I didn't use it for that long. Okay. Let's just leave it until it automatically goes on cooldown now. There we go. 35 seconds. Obviously huge. Now, let's think about this from a kind of theory crafting perspective. If you want to use him as your main damage, due to the way arrow multipliers work in physical DPS, they're not great. Melee is always better. And his melee downtime then is going to be 35 seconds if you're doing the maximum damage you can do. So is it worth it? Probably not, because basically the more uptime you've got, the more downtime you've got, which means his role is burst DPS. But his burst DPS is kind of time dependent. The longer he's out there, the more damage he's doing, unless you've got his ulti. So then you need some kind of ulti charge for him, which means you probably need a secondary water user. Right now, in terms of what the current artifact sets are out there, you'll need a secondary water. You're someone who boosts his ultimate charge so you can wombo combo quickly. So it looks like a good combo for him would be to have his ultimate, you range ultimate, you proc your E, you damage to build back up your ultimate, and then you melee ultimate. That would be a perfect rotation for Childe, and then you swap him back out and you put in your DPS. Right now, that is where I see Childe. That seems to be his perfect role with the artifact sets currently in the game, with the other heroes currently in the game. That is where we are with Childe. So what I'd say about him is that he is a lot of fun to play, and I really enjoy using him. Is he optimal? Definitely not. Is he great fun and probably one of the most fun heroes to play in the game right now? With Kaching, in my opinion, yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, you have to put into a bit of perspective here the lore aspect of who he is, you know, as one of the harbingers of the Fatui. It's cool to play him and play a Fatui member. So yeah, overall, great hero, great concept design. His numbers are great. And hopefully a set comes out in the future that really boosts him up, because if there is, I don't think I can see myself playing or not having him in the team, because he's great fun. If you do enjoy using Childe, use him. A lot of the tier lists that come out are based on optimal settings and optimal team compositions. If you just want to play for a bit of fun, you can do the majority of the content with any setup you like. It's just whether or not you want to play fully optimally, fully for fun, or a kind of a blend of the two. And I think Childe comes in that blend of the two category. Okay, well, that's my thoughts on Childe, the new hero in Genshin Impact released in 1.1. Stick around because we're going to do a Diona video, and that's going to be down below, so have a read of Diona. I got a C6 Diona, so I can give a pretty good opinion on her and where she sits, and as you can see, she is currently in my team. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, it helps me out. We're trying to build something good and different here. Other than that, peace and take care.